We're in Bronte country here in West Yorkshire at the Old Silent Inn pub. A pub with a long history and a number of ghosts. Ghosts that talk to you in the middle of the night, that move objects around, and that are often spotted in certain areas of the pub, as you're about to discover. Peter Thornton is the manager here at the Old Silent Inn.
Right, we've been here for about 2 years. The original buildings date from about 1600.
So, what stories does Peter know about this place?
Well, there's been various reports of ghostly sightings. It's mostly the women that have seen and smelt the ghost, if there is one.
There's also a bit of a legend connected with this place about a ringing bell.
There is a story of a bell that's rung outside, which is quite an old story. And there was a lady who lived here, I don't know how long ago, but she would ring a bell outside, which would bring stray cats from the moors, would come over and she would feed them. She's dead and gone a long time ago, but people do say that they still hear the bell.
So, does Peter believe in the whole idea of ghosts?
I don't not believe in them, but not having seen one here, then I don't know, but the sightings have always been the same by people that have never met before. Visitors to the pub who are complete strangers, if you like, and they've described exactly the same as other people have described.
Now, some of the guests who stayed here at the hotel part of the pub have also had some rather weird experiences, like the case of one gentleman who was kept awake all night.
We had a resident a few months ago in room 6 upstairs who came down in the morning not having had very much sleep at all, and he reported that he'd sat up most of the night talking to a young girl dressed in sort of Victorian Edwardian dress. But he was in bed with his wife, and she thought he'd gone crackers because she didn't see anything at all. But he was convinced, and he sat up most of the night.
So, have other people had experiences upstairs here in the pub?
There have been occasions where the building has been totally empty, apart from my colleague, who's been downstairs and heard doors opening and floorboards creaking, and the building has been absolutely empty. There have been instances where one of the cleaning ladies was upstairs, in fact there were 2 of them upstairs, in one of the other bedrooms, and when they came to leave the room, they couldn't open the door. It was just absolutely solid was the door, so they thought somebody had locked them in. Practical joke or something like that, so they rang downstairs. Somebody went up and just opened the door for them. It wasn't locked at all.
Judith Lister is a barmaid here at the pub, and she had a first-hand experience of the ghost.
Well, the first one really was the smell. There's a really, really strong smell which moves about. There's one end of the corridor that it was there for a long time, and Then it seemed to move into the gents' toilets. Not that I go in there, but one or two of the customers came out and complained. One day I was stood talking to the cleaner. There was kind of an entrance through to where the toilet area is, so I would be like sideways onto the bar. And I saw, it was like a large gentleman walk across to the bar, and he looked as though he was going to lean on it, at which point I turned to look and he was gone. At the time, I just kind of thought, who's that? I looked around, it was gone. And I didn't say anything until about an hour later, and I went back to the girl I was talking to, and I told her what I'd seen. And she did say, I wondered why you looked away. But it's strange she'd say that, because earlier in the morning, she'd heard the doors going in the building. Now, they're very heavy doors, they bang. And when she came, she was certain there was somebody sort of in the entrance area. When she came round, there was nobody there.
And what does Judith know of some of the other people's experiences here at the pub?
We've had a resident last Christmas who claimed he actually saw a little girl at the bottom of his bed, and he spoke to her, and he was absolutely adamant he'd seen her. She was there. Other members of staff, they've noticed the smell. My mum and my sister-in-law and one of the waitresses have seen exactly the same figure as I did, walking to the bar. I think they've seen him going up the stairs more. It sort of seems like a regular thing, trip upstairs.
Then there was the case of another guest who had a very weird experience with a bunch of keys.
We had a Scotsman staying in the same room as the chap who'd seen the little girl. Went to bed, was sat watching TV in bed, he'd left his car keys on, sort of on the bed, they were rattling around. Got on his nerves, so he kicked them off, heard them land on the floor, never got out of bed till the morning. Came to look for them, couldn't find them anywhere. Had the shower, came out, and they were on the mantelpiece. Couldn't explain it, and nobody else had been in the room.
There are numerous other stories connected with this pub. Around 5 years ago, there was a fairly major fire here, and much of the downstairs part of the pub was gutted. Now, two locals came up to the pub late one night to take a look at the damage, and they saw something that absolutely terrified them. To this day, they've never told anybody exactly what they saw, but it frightened them so much that they've never set foot in the pub again. Mind you, that doesn't seem to deter the people who do come here for a drink or a meal. And there's another story outside. It's connected with the wishing well. Legend goes that Bonnie Prince Charlie stayed here at the Old Silent Inn on his way escaping back to Scotland. Now, the rumour goes that he told everybody here in the village to keep very quiet about his stay, but one man decided to speak out. So, they cut off his head and threw him down the well. Could that be one of the ghosts that lurks here now? So, there you have it, the Old Silent Inn pub with a number of different ghosts, at least 3 or possibly 4. Could it be that the lady who was here before who rung that bell is still ringing it? Or is it just an imprint of the bell that people can still hear that calls those wild cats in for their dinner? And then there's the little girl upstairs in the bedroom who talks to guests, and a strange dark cloaked man seen downstairs in the bar. A whole host of ghosts in what is a fascinating old pub.